Must you know Kat Matlala?
Very well.
Okay.
I think
When did you first meet Kat Matlala?
I met Kat Matlala in December
Of?
last year,
2024,
2024. That's the
before
first
the
time.
directive.
That's the first time I met Kat Matlala. December 2024. I can't remember the date, but it was after the raid.
The raid on the 8th or the 6th, the 6th of
Yeah.
December.
Because that's one thing that brought him to me.
So what is there a connection between the raid on 6th December where we know
There are,
that
there are issues that he raised to me about the raid.
So can you tell us, well, first tell us how it is that you came to meet him. Did you know him before that?
No, I didn't know him before that, and I don't know how it happened because the people of his stature, I would know about them, especially from what, the township? From Mams, from Mamelodi. Bongani Mpungos, who is a son of Sputla Mpungos, who is a son of Sputla Mpungose, who comes from Nongoma or Matubatuba, where he comes from, and a very notorious taxi person. Because of my involvement as the MEC for Transport and Police, when there are problems of taxi industry, then I will meet these people. So I knew Sputla through that, the father of Bongani. So Bongani then brings Matlala to me. So I think a week or 2 weeks I've read earlier to say there is this Tembisa person who has received this 360, is it 360 or 260 amount of contract from the South African police. They came and I met them in Beverly Hills in Durban. So I met there. I think I delayed two days because Bongani, who's known as Mabonga, did not tell me that he's bringing somebody else. So as I came there, because there was a photo of Kat, I said to him, "You look like Kat." He said, "I'm one." I said, "Nkosi yami, what's the story with you and me and all that?" So he said, "No, he have asked Mabonga to come to me because there are 2 issues he wants to raise with me."
Where were you meeting?
Beverly Hills Hotel in Durban.
The Beverly Hills Hotel.
Yes, sir. Do you know Beverly Hills?
It's a fancy hotel.
Yeah, it's a very high-end hotel. No doubt about it. It's a high-end hotel, Beverly Hills. But we met at the dining hall there, and then he raised 2 issues. He said Mabonga must bring him to me because he realizes that he's being abused or he's being used for the political games that he do not understand. Firstly, he said he has met Minister Mchunu, him and Brown Mahosi, the 3 of them. And they spoke about him because he's got money through the tender, him to fund his project of becoming either a president or deputy president. He didn't know. Myself, I didn't know which project was it. So that's that. But
so just to be clear, so he's telling you that he met with Mokgotsi and with Minister
The minister,
Mchunu,
yes.
and it was about the funding
Of the
for-
project of
the
becoming
project.
a president or deputy president. Okay. This is Kat telling me why he wanted to meet me. But what puzzled him there, for him to want to meet me, he was told by the minister that we'll work together so long we don't come close to Cele and Zuma. I don't know why it mixes me with Zuma. But it looks like that's what he said, that don't come close to Cele and Zuma, so we'll work well with. So that's why he says he realized that there is a game, some political games, hence wanted to see me.
Did he give any details of when they met? He met with Mokgotsi and with Minister Mchunu.
No, and I did not want details myself. But he didn't. The second one was about then the raid. The raid that happened, I didn't know about the raid. As I'm saying that maybe this latter part of some members of PKTT joining Gauteng, I didn't know until Kat says to me, he wants to speak to me because he was raided. He says the people that raided him woke him up as he was sleeping and bambulingo bobati vuka. Then I realized that that was a special task force. Immediately, when they come to your bathroom and they wake you up, that could be only nobody but a special task force, those capabilities. So I realized that was this. So I asked, what has happened? No, they've raided him on matters, I think on matters of accusation of drugs and all that kind of thing. So me, where do I come in? No, he says, he comes to me because he realizes that he has been abused. After that, he says he has been approached by Sibia, General Sibia, to write an affidavit against Khumalo so that Khumalo can be arrested. So this Kat tells me.
Which Khumalo? You
The
know
Khumalo-
quite a few Khumalos.
No, this one, the
Not
head,
Dr. Khumalo.
the head of the CI. The head of the CI, the leader of the PKTT. Yeah. He says, why? He said, no, I've come to you because of that. But what made me really come to you is that there is a case that is coming next week where I've taken Khumalo and his team to court for unlawful raid. So the reason is that I must take Khumalo to court so that he can lose the case and the Sibia finds the way to discipline him. That is Kat telling me the story. He goes on to say he was told or stroke the affidavit of taking Khumalo was written by Sibia to say they've stolen his Rolex and the jewelry for the wife. So they must write it so that it's not just the raid, but it's also the theft. So that's why he comes to me. He says he doesn't want to take police to court because he has just got the tender. So he doesn't want to harm his relationship with police. So Mamonga told him that I know Khumalo, so I can talk to Khumalo that they resolve the matter out of court. And indeed, I did speak to Khumalo about this thing. And I guess the lawyers did talk, and the matter didn't go to court. But also what was I suggested to him that maybe it will be good if he meets Khumalo and brings Khumalo per se. I don't know if they did meet with Khumalo. But in the case, I know that did not go to court. So that's how I know Kat, and I wish I could not have met him, but now I have met him.
So before you met with Matlala, you would have had some idea of who this is.
Yes, after reading this article.
And this article is what one can describe as quite unflattering.
Quite
Unflattering.
unthreatening.
Yeah. We're not going to, you know, we've had a lot of the dictionary in this hearing so far. It's an article which is not kind to Mr. Matlala.
Oh, yes.
It portrays him as someone who is involved in murky dealings. Of course, I don't rely on this article for what's contained in it. But if I had to read this article before meeting someone, and I do meet him, even if I didn't know I was going to meet him, I'd probably jump up immediately and leave. I mean, this is just randomly look at the. It's about the Tembisa Hospital fraud investigation. He's now entangled in a case involving the kidnapping of a woman and a child. Then it talks about following a raid on his home. Then in court papers, so he's involved there. There's the 360 million. Then it talks about Kobile, Tikhale, and a 9-year-old son were abducted. And then it ends with with a reference to the late Babita Deokaran, the late but famous whistleblower. But 3 weeks after that, she was killed. So the whole thrust of the article, quite frankly, portrays him as a dark character.
I agree.
You met with him?
Maybe, let's see, we don't come from the same world of understanding matters. I said to you, the call comes from prison. It tells me that in a certain lodge at Tulundi, there are people who are sitting there with the AKs. And they are ready to kill this ex-Ingos. And I say, I speak to provincial commissioner. He goes there and says, he finds the information as is. I could have said to a person who's calling from prison, don't phone me. Don't call me. And Inkosi dies.
Okay.
If there are few criminals, that you would know, they are top. If that criminal phones you, he phones me, and I know him, to say, SCRNs will be assassinated. And I say, look, you are a criminal. Don't phone me, don't talk to me about any other things. And you are assassinated. And I come to tell the story that, by the way, this criminal phoned me. And I did not do anything. I agree. There are meetings that you would do. Let me tell you one story of a person that I met who is a king of Zamazamas. Actually, there are two Zamazamas. One, I forget his surname, is a Soto guy because this guy, Zamazamas are mostly also run from Lesotho. I met him. Later, that guy is arrested. But he was to meet me to give me information. Okay? The second thing that could not be made direct, there is a guy called LL. I don't know if you know a guy called LL, SC. His name is Louis Leuwenberg. He's a king of Zamazamas. He cleans diamonds and everything. He's millions and millions. He finds MKP. He maybe finds Baba and through him MKP because he paid 500,000. He paid 500,000 for the case for the private case to be taken to court. I think taking case privately, you pay. He paid that money. And he has been arrested. He's in prison as I speak for running diamond. He has appeared in court, and MK has been in court supporting him every day when he goes to court. Now, I don't know whether they don't know that, but the crux of the matter is that you can meet somebody and get later how deep that person is. But if you work in security, SC, you can't say, I can't meet you, because that kind of information from that person could be the lifesaver of many other things. So understand where I come from. By the way, I do meet criminals. I do. And the information can be broader used than not having met him. Others, there are those that are obvious, like the Cape Town one. Really, I can't meet Medoc. I can't meet Nassif. I can't meet those guys. But those, because you know how far have they gone, it might not help you. You can even, those guys say, meet so and so and send the officer to that person. But some of these guys will refuse to say, I am not going to give this information because if I give this information to somebody different, it might come back to bite me. But this is a world that we live in from the work that we are doing or we were doing, SC.
So, if because of time, General, if I can just move on. So, you met Matlala again several times after that.
Yes.
Why?
This question of politics, Matlala, me, and Mchunu has come on play, because Matlala begins to feed me things that either Mahodzi or Mchunu, they are fitting to him. Basically, some of them, they are targeted to Khumalo. I must come up front. I've worked with Khumalo. I've seen his work. I think I don't know his dark side, but he's one, if he does have one, but he's one corp that I will protect. Khumalo. He's one corp that I'll protect. So, and it's like Mkhwanazi himself. For me, he remains a good cop. People, they've asked that he has spoken things about you. I said, separate a good cop to the human being, because that is a good cop. It doesn't mean he's a perfect human being. We can come back to that. But there are those people that I will protect, knowing very well how much are they contributing towards the proper working of the organization called the police, but also knowing very well that if they get hurt, it might hurt the organization. So if I have any way of protecting and helping on that, I will do. And Khumalo is one of those people. So Matlala kept coming with information about me and about Khumalo. So if he says, there is something new that has come up, here it is, I will definitely go and listen. That would include That will include, don't know if I'm going too far. That will include him telling me that he has been given an article, SC.
Yes,
He
I'm
has,
listening.
he has been given an article that's talk about me and Masimula. That article is a 2012 article from a guy called Pandey. Pandey was arrested in KZN for the inflation of the accommodation of 2010 accommodation. So now it goes Matlala stroke Mkhotsi. But the theory of them getting is that Matlala tells me that Mchunu is preparing to arrest me for having got in the corruption of the 2010 tender. Here is an evidence. Somebody will have to tell me how does that article find its way, either Mkhotsi stroke Matlala. But looks, the theory of it is that Matlala is being assured that Cele will be arrested. Remember, by now, it is known that by Mchunu that Matlala links with Cele, but Matlala has been told that he should not mix up with Cele. So now he is told that this article will make me to arrest your man.
So why would Minister Mchunu want you to be arrested?
You can answer that best.
Sorry, General.
You can answer that best.
But this is what you're hearing from Matlala.
Yes.
So he also peddles this information about Minister Mchunu, about Toshan Pandey. So this is all part of this.
That article arrests me and Masimula because we were involved in corruption of 2010. So this is 2025. This article came in 2012, where this guy made the claim. Now it finds its way to Matlala stroke Mkhotsi.
And you say in paragraph 74 of your statement that after that first meeting, there were several other encounters with Mr. Matlala in which he explained this project. Is that the project involving Mkhotsi and Minister Mchunu?
Of him becoming a president or deputy president.
Yeah, which he's working
I don't
on.
know which one, but Matlala also didn't know whether it's president or deputy president. So I meet Matlala because now we're engaged on this presidential thing and me and all that, but talk other things. One thing that took me aback in the meeting of Zimbabwe is when I saw his protection guys. And I began to say that looks like there are faces I know here. What nearly made me fall down is when he told me that some of those guys, 23 of them, has recruited them from Special Task Force of the Army. I said to myself, what is this? He has taken 23 of the Special Task Force of the Army to guard him.
They're even recruiting some of our best, highly trained officers.
Let's see, I'm giving you the story that scared me. Why I'm scared of this story is because I've spoken to Nhlanhla earlier on and gave me the information that we have lost 56 members of the Special Task Force of Police to the taxi industry. 56. Now, I'm told that to train one member of the Special Task Force is 1.1 million to be all-rounder. One. We have lost 56 to the taxi industry. Maybe there where I threaten you of knowing. But I've got two issues here. That I can't have such a production to the private security. That's the first fear. The second fear is that looks like we're increasing the capabilities of the private security versus the state. Because I don't care how many you send, there will be a serious battle between 56 guys in the tax industry with the 20 guys you send of the special task force. So it's something that must be.
Period that led to the letter is from July 2024 to December 2024. So I'm talking about a person who has got a long spending with the PKTT from 2018 to 2024. Then, in your experience with having presided over the affairs of the PKTT, what value would you attach yourself to the work that the PKTT has done?
There is only one source that I know has a problem with PKTT. It's Aunt Mary. That's the only source I know. But if you ask me about...
So when you say Aunt Mary, you refer to Professor Meritihas?
Meritihas.
Okay.
When it comes to the PKTT, I don't have figures, Honorable Member, of the people that have been arrested. With the high-profile cases that we have lived with without being resolved. There is another myth to say they are pursuing cases that are not political. You see the world office in Kabi, hitmen, they go across the board. They don't only hit politicians alone. They are hired to kill on the taxi world. So if the PKTT finds a person that kills a politician at Nongoma, called Taminyembe as a councillor, and they realize that this Ntuli has killed other tax people, and there are 6, they will pursue that. They are not going to say, stop, don't check now, because the next people they've shot is not a politician. They'll pursue, which helps that we are eating on the world of Izingabi coming from this angle of political violence. So without really going detailed and giving you statistics, those are there. Maybe we will invite the people to give you statistics. For me, it was one of the biggest good decisions that this team was formed. They did not let anybody down. They did the good job. And I believe that even they're taken to other places now, it comes out of their job. And this thing that I heard somebody in Mafeking coming at these Zulus, what are they doing, these Zulus here? Let me tell you one thing. South African police jurisdiction, because it looks like there is an issue with this going to Gauteng. South African police service jurisdiction is South Africa. It's not province.
Don't you think, General, that you became irresponsible and reckless by making an intervention on a matter that required the police to act? Because my view, if you can ask me to advise you after getting that instruction or that request, I would say tell Matlala to report the matter to the police so that the police can investigate. And indirectly, by your intervention, you helped Sibia to escape, because had you allowed Sibia to do whatever he wanted to do and trap him, maybe he will be behind bars today for trying to break the law. So you made a political intervention in a legal matter which required an investigation by the police. don't you think you were a bit irresponsible and reckless?
Two things on my mind, and I've mentioned it before, Honorable Member, that I could not have allowed Khumalo to be made a scapegoat. Second thing, I did say to Matlala must go and speak to Khumalo.
In your understanding, based on the experience that you have,
Is the same question or same roundup on the constitutional matter?
it's the same question but put in a different way.
Okay. Can I ask the portion of constitution?
Yes, you can.
Well, I'm not a constitutional court, so
Yeah.
I would not know if the matter is constitutional or not constitutional. That needs to be tested, and there are mechanisms of testing that. It can't just be me, and I guess it can't just be you to say is your constitutional, unless you are advised, legal and constitutional, so to say, here is an advice in my hand. It would have been good for the minister to say, I disband it because I've been constitutionally advised, and here is a constitutional advice from me. So I would not argue things that I do not know, and most of us, we don't know, including the minister on the constitutionality of the matter.
Honorable Sangone.
Sorry, Chair, I just wanted to get your attention, but maybe when the general finishes, I just wanted to get clarity on that.
The second one, Honorable Member, if this is a policy matter, this is a matter called by the President to the ministers. And the ministers call on their operators, which are DGs and all that. So it's both. So if anybody needs to take decision about it, he needs to walk all the path of both policy and operations, since it was taken that way. I have said, the way that we have come down, let's use it to go up. It cannot be that it's taken by president to ministers, to DGs, to the team. And when the team goes, you just go to one place and you say, here it is. That would be wrong. What I would not argue here, I would not say is illegal or unlawful. Those that are better placed to say so, they will. But for me, it's unprocedural and wrong.
Okay, when the PKTT
Was an industry that was not regulated from the very word go. I don't know where were you when taxis were valiants. Do you know the car called a Valiant? Yeah, okay. Honorable Skosana would know that one. So there where they started with I'm a Valiant, I'm a four-seater and all that kind of thing. So unregulated. So it was an easy kind of business where mostly black people could come, because others, there were no opportunities. And indeed, it was allowed to go unregulated and then became the survivor of the fittest some time ago, not now, some time ago. By the way, there have been commissions after commissions working on this industry. What is a problem on it? But at the later stage, there was the entrance of big criminality on it. One of it, people that have stolen the money, special cash heist, they came in this industry, Honorable Member. Some of them, they came here because it's easy to wash your money. You work with cash and every day. In the early years, I think 96, I remember Ndebele was an MSc for transport. we tried to work on the program called recapitalization. That recap, you had 6 forms to sign. 2 of them was blue and yellow. I can't remember which was yellow. But the other one was say, write your criminal records. And the other one will say, write your SARS history. And those, as they fill those forms, the filling will end there. They would not come on it because they wanted to continue with cash, and the cash helps to money laundering, clean, and all that. So those elements, they came on it. So indeed, I would half agree with you that they've been floor crossing to tenders with some of them. But what we would not agree is that this criminality entering this industry is new. It has been evolving. Taxi, cash heist, robberies, tenders, politicians coming on. It has been evolving all the time.
Million tender yaka Kat. Ngiyazi ke ukuthi awungeni mhlawumbe endabeni yokuthi alithole itender, and ngiyayazi procedure yokuthi tender lihamba kanjani ukuze lithole. But I just want to know ukuthi wena as a minister, because it's alleged ukuthi politicians, specifically ministers, have influence. Did you have any influence ukuthi alithole leli tender mhlawumbe uKat Matlala?
I didn't know anything about the tender, let alone influence. I could not have influenced the tender that I didn't know about. It's not because the acquaintance that I slept in the house. It's because it was a free piece. And I'm not working, I'm a pensioner. So here is it's a nice place, by the way. It's a free piece, so I sleep. I'm not in government. I'm not going to declare. I guess if I were in government, I would have gone and declared, but now I sleep, I wake up, I go home.
So if, let's call someone like Ralph Stanfield said to you, go and stay in my house in Constantia for free.
Who is that?
You know exactly who it is.
Stanfield?
Yeah.
I don't know him.
You know him. You spoke about him in the media several
No.
times.
I've heard of him, I don't know him. I've seen Matlala, I didn't hear about him only.
No, but you're playing with words now. The point is, if he comes to you, you're an acquaintance, and he says to you, you can stay in my house, would you do it?
Chairperson, I'm sorry, it's his time to tell me to shut up this time. So I'm not playing with words, I'm giving an answer. I'm giving an answer, I'm not playing with words. So maybe playing with words, I'm talking the wrong English, and I don't hope to move to Zulu so that I speak straight. But I'm explaining to say, having met you and having read about you are 2 different things. I've met Matlala. I've read about this guy's stain and all that. So I don't know him as I would know a person. Even once, it does make a difference. That's why I know you even then and also. I'm not playing with the words. I'm really trying to explain. If you feel I'm playing with the word, with words, I hope I'll speak better so that what I'm saying is clear, Honorable Member. At one time, the cash heist was 0 in KZN. 0. I mean 0 because of that unit. Whoever killed that unit is guilty of increasing the crime in South Africa and in that province. That's how I forever look at it. And the reason why Mkwanazi and Mtetwa, they took that path of killing that thing, I don't know. But what I knew is that Mtetwa was may his soul rest in peace. Mtetwa was on this thing of reversing things that have been done and working. It was not only him reversing things, it was with his president. He's the president of one organization today. But he was with his president to reverse to reverse things. You know, we built a solid police. As your chair, you go and check your crime stats, Honorable. I'm sure you have distraction.
Yeah.
First thing, everybody that I worked with dispersed him. It took Masimula to Limbombo as a debut. It took him Mkwanazi, highly decorated, because people, they think I can change. It's a fact that Mkwanazi is highly decorated. Took him Mkwanazi and told him to guard the buildings. Mkwanazi was guarding the buildings, property, the offices. This, you know, there is a competition of the special forces that usually takes place at a place called Dubai. At one time when Mkwanazi was there, it took place in France. The Special Task Force of South Africa was number 4 in the world. We were number 4. Under Riapie, we were number 40. She ate at 0.
I'm trying to be serious here. You're making it very
I am
difficult.
serious. I am serious. We're number 40. Last time there, I was invited. I was invited to go and receive the award for them. I think they were number 14. So I can't receive the number 14 award. But in France, I did go and I received the number 4 in the world. In the world. This is so. That thing went down. But the real mess that she did, was to kill the TROT, Technical Response Team. You know, just a little bit of a minute how it started about. People, they call it Bheki's Police, Cele's Police. I don't know why they don't call other units about people that they started. When I joined the police, Honorable Member, in Pretoria, the third day, there was a cash heist in the city of Swane. As I came there, 2 police were shot and killed from local station. And I found Mercedes-Benz C-Class, I don't know if it is an advert, C-Class and GTI, and those were getaway cars for the criminals. Police came in a Corona, 1.3. I said, even if they find these guys on the scene and chase them much, what is this C-Class 28? And then I said, from now on, 2 things we're going to do. We're going to buy police cars. The GTI, the police, and BMWs came that time. That's when we bought GTI in the police. That's why every police drives GTI today. And Focus and all that. But the other problem that you had, these elite units, 2 of them, that's your Special Force and NIU, were geographically placed. They were only in Gauteng, KZN, Eastern Cape, and Western Cape. So other provinces didn't have them. So the TROT was built for them to hold the fort as we are waiting for these guys. But TROT did not hold the fort. They did the job. TROT moored the Kesha's guys. They moored them goed. Now, that was the first one. The second one of their job, that time we had cluster. I know you have had interest in the police. We have cluster policing, where 5 stations to 7 will be together. We said every station will have about 10 members of the TROT, Amaparet. So if there is an incident there, they will converge and respond. But if not, they will patrol their precincts. That's why crime like pickpocketing, crime like housebreaking, because those guys, They saturated and took over policing every street, every township. Even today, if you move around here, people are asking, where are the barracks? Ask Ria, Pierre, where are they? As she come, it dismantles them. It took their cars, it took a veto that they were using and give it to the police, to the station command. How do you take a veto and give it to the station commander to go and buy milk?
In your
On that-
paragraph
on that meeting, we
71,
did
it
not
says,
talk
he also
about-
expressed concern about being caught in the crossfire of brewing conflict within the police.
Yes.
And that he did not want to lose the health service tender awarded to him earlier that year.
Yes, he didn't because he's put in conflict with the, in that context.
yes.
In that context.
So
yeah,
that's where he
correct.
told you about the tender.
Yes.
All right. And my question is, did that not raise any red flags with you? Because he was telling you that he had a tender and that he was going to, or he made false allegations against generals to protect his own interest. Did
I
that
knew-
raise red
by
flags?
then
to
I
you?
knew that he had a tender.
I believe so. That's in your discussion here on this meeting.
The same answer. My interest and my angle was not with Kat, it was with Kumalo.
I'll get to that, sir. But I'm asking you, did it raise any red flags to you that he was telling you this?
No.
Do you say you admitted, he admitted, to fabricating serious false allegations of theft and corruption against senior officers? I would go so far as to say your own people, people that you came along with in the police service. Why would you rely on a man who, by your own account, had just confessed to committing perjury and obstructing justice?
Rely on him on what?
Say again, sorry?
Rely on him on what?
Well, so you said you kept chatting with him, he kept speaking to you, even post this meeting.
This is-
He brought information to you about the 2010 corruption.
I'm not relying on him, I see. I see the things that are sent to his cellular. I'm not, his message, I'm not relying on him. He shows me the thing that is not supposed to have, that are sent by either the minister stroke Mohotsi in preparation. So I don't just hear him, I see it.
No, whether you see it or not is irrelevant. What I'm asking is that he raised serious red flags. The red flag that he raised, which I understand, is he told you that he committed perjury. He told you he was making false allegation against the police. You advised him that he needs to go speak, and the case was eventually either thrown out or settled out of court. That was what you said. So he's
Are we talking about the same story?
yes, it's on your section 72.
That he told me that he committed the perjury.
Well, he says to you that he was lying, he was going to make false allegations.
Did I say so?
It's in your testimony.
No. You didn't listen very well.
No, I'm reading your testimony.
I said he was pushed by Sibia to do that.
I understand. What I'm
You
saying
don't.
is, I understand.
You
sir.
absolutely don't.
No, I do understand fully.
Him-
You are saying he was being forced to do it.
Exactly.
To protect his own interest. No, regardless of what his reasoning was to do it. He was doing it to protect his own interest, whether it was forced by Sabia, forced by whoever. He's,
into his terrain as national commissioner. So you having been the national commissioner and also a minister of police, I think you are better placed to actually have a better understanding of exactly what was happening here. So that is in that context that I'm asking this kind of a question, Ndos.
Well, if it were me, as a national commissioner receiving this letter, without really being arrogant and pompous about it, I would have said, stay on your lane, Minister. That can't happen. I would have said so.
Then you
If
can-
I would really want to be modest, I would have said, can we have a discussion on the matter and privately tell him to stay on his lane or her lane?
that merit he has should actually call the shots in the operations of the police?
Oh, Mary, yes, he's a wonderful person, you know. I was not on the list, so I was very far on the list to go back to Parliament. I'm sure that was obvious that I'm not going to go back. Okay. Now, 2 days before I think of the announcement of cabinet, Mary has on the, what is this, SAFM, he has an interview to say, I'm very glad that Cele won't come back. in radio. Even before the president is inaugurated, Mary knew I was not going to come back. Okay, fine, you're not going to, and the police are going to be proper and all that kind of stuff. That's fine. But when Mkhwanazi was eating fire on the 6th of July and reading these screenshots and all that, Mary was one of the channels said, you know, I know all those screenshots, they are from Cele's phone. That's what she said. They're not from Mchunu. Hayibo. They're from Cele. Mchunu can't do that. It's Cele that is doing all those things. I know screenshots, but Mary was sure of it. So surely, Bagazita, Mary could not have written to me as a commissioner or as an executive authority. I had some workings with Mary before elections when there was a violence in Durban, in KZN, working with her and Professor Paulos Zulu. So where we would go and report, and they see, and you will remember that were terrible police, especially from KwaZulu. Those were, I'm telling you, those were killers. The guy called Spiwe Mvuyana, those were killers. You mean talking to him? I think it should be 4 times altogether.
4 times. How many times did he contact you? So you say you tried to contact him 4 times?
No. You mean personally?
Yes.
Yes, I met him at the hotel first time. We met at the house in Zimbabwe, and we met at the place in Pretoria. That's physical that I've met him.
Okay. Help us understand what was so important on the 9th of May, where records reflect that you tried to contact Mr. Matlala close to 10 times, from 8 o'clock in the morning until I think past 11 in the evening. I think it was quite serious. Records reflect, and in the media we've seen that almost every hour you tried to reach out to him. What was this all about?
It's because he was going to be in Durban and we were going to meet. So finally, I'm told that he lost the phone on that particular day. That's why he could not answer.
But what was your reason for calling him every hour on the 9th of May?
I was checking him if he has arrived in Durban,
You were checking if he's around Durban.
because we're going to arrive and we're going to have a meeting.
Were you going to discuss anything specific on that day?
Yes.
What were you going to
He was
discuss with
going
him?
to brief me about the latest discussion on the matters of the project and what was said about me. Further discussing from this screenshot that was said and about my own arrest.
You mentioned earlier on that it is okay for you to meet with him. You don't have to declare. You don't have to, ask for permission from anyone. I want to ask you, do you not find it worrying to meet with someone that has over 80 cases. You serve on the NEC. You are leader of this country. I still see you as a leader. And you said to us earlier on that you take information from him pertaining to SAPS. Is that not supposed to be directed to a certain unit within SAPS to gather information?
Chair, just before she moves to the next question.
To obtain cell phone records from your network, your service provider, would you be prepared to grant such consent
For
and
what?
support the gathering of this information?
For what?
So that we can determine actually, if you have absolutely nothing to hide, would you be okay with that granting?
Have to be serious conditions of defining the information you want. You can't go to my phone and get any kind of information. If you determine, and there is a methodology to say, this is information we want, 205 for this information, not everything in my phone, that can't happen. But if you say you want information about Kat Matlala and all that, I'm fine, or any other. But it can't be blanket coming to my phone and getting anything in my phone.
So it's a no.
Yes, I'm simply saying, if you describe what information you want, including want information about Kat, that I'm fine. But you can't get my phone to get any other information that is in my phone that has got nothing to do with the ad hoc that is here. It can't be blanket. But you wanted this one about Matlala, get your 205 and carry it, I'm fine. But that you want to go through the photos and everything that is there,
Your
it
few
can't,
ones.
it can't happen. It just can't happen.